Good evening. Stefan is away tonight. We begin with the latest on the Canada-U.S. trade war. The federal government hitting back today with retaliatory dollar-for-dollar tariffs on hundreds of American products as consumers and businesses brace for the impact. Those retaliatory measures include tariffs on more than $27 billion worth of American imports. The levies, ranging from 15% to 50%, will apply to 700 products, including smartphones, makeup, carpets, and kitchenware. These are set to take effect September 8th. Meanwhile, the government also announcing $7.8 billion in support for Canadian workers and businesses. And as the trade war with the United States heats up, local businesses and consumers are preparing for what higher tariffs could mean. The question now is how far those higher costs will travel and who will ultimately end up paying for them. At the same time, Ottawa and Gatineau are looking to strengthen their own economic ties. CTV's Caitlin Wilson reports.
This is Dermalogica. This is our main skincare line that we work with. They're from the United States.
As the trade war with the United States heats up, local businesses are preparing for what's to come.
It's too early for the information to come to us directly, so all I can really do is prepare that costs are going to go up.
Manicure, pedicure, and other beauty products are now among the goods targeted by Canadian retaliatory tariffs. And for small businesses like Smudge Beauty Bar, which sources some of its products from the U.S., the question is how much those costs could rise.
We just sort of have to prepare for it the best that we can and decide if it's going to have to impact consumer pricing and stuff at this point.
And as Canada imposes new tariffs on U.S. goods closer to home, Ottawa and Gatineau are looking to remove trade barriers within the region.
All kinds of businesses, for example, craft breweries in Gatineau, can't sell their products on our shelves in Ottawa.
The two mayors signing a new economic cooperation agreement with the goal of making it easier to do business across the river.
We will work together again and again in the region to consolidate our economy, to create opportunities, to downsize the quantity of barriers that we have between the two provinces.
The agreement looks at economic development, transportation, and tourism, while also pushing to have the National Capital Region recognized as a distinct economic zone.
We're going to work with our federal and provincial partners to make sure that that happens.
While local businesses wait to see how the trade war with the U.S. will hit their bottom line, consumers are also weighing what it could mean for their wallets.
I think it's going to affect a lot of families and livelihoods, but I think it's ultimately important that Canada stands up to the U.S. and that we're not bullied.
It's worth it for the long term. We need to keep strong.
Caitlin Wilson, CTV News.
Amid the trade war, the federal government is urging people to continue buying Canadian. The sentiment certainly still strong, which is why some shoppers in Kemptville were surprised and upset to see American wine on shelves at a local grocery store. CTV's Dylan Dyson has this story.
American wine temporarily back on store shelves in Kemptville, Ontario.
And I don't know why they would do it.
At the Johnson's Your Independent Grocer on Tuesday, bottles of red and white CK Mondavi wine from California were displayed prominently at the front of the store's beer and wine section.
I think we should be sticking to Canadian wine, not American, especially what's going on with Trump.
It's not my choice that they would do that, but I choose not to purchase anything.
It's unclear how long the products had been on the shelves for. A viewer said they first noticed the wine for sale on Sunday. The bottle is still on display Tuesday morning. But when CTV News reached out to Loblaw, the parent company of the Your Independent Grocer chain, it said the wine was put on the shelves without the approval of the store owner. And once identified, it was removed immediately.
It bothers me they don't sell it at the liquor store. We're trying to, I don't boycott the States, but I'm not trying to buy anything from the States purposely. It bothers me. I wouldn't buy it.
Ontario implemented a province-wide ban on U.S. booze back in March 2025 with no American alcohol available for sale by the LCBO to retail or wholesale customers. Responding to the appearance of the American wine, the Office of Ontario's Finance Minister saying, "We have been clear. U.S. alcohol will remain off shelves. We expect all retailers, including this grocer, to follow the rules." The incident reigniting shoppers' patriotism amid trade tensions with Donald Trump and the United States.
I have my app with the little beaver on it. to buy Canadian, and I check everything now before I buy it.
So everything that I can buy Canadian, I do.
Dylan Dyson, CTV News, Kemptville.
Stay with CTV News for continuing coverage of the trade war. For updates on radio, tune in to News Talk 580 CFRA and CTV News Channel. And we will have more on the trade war and reaction from Premier Doug Ford later in the show. But now let's take a first look at the weather. A look at our overnight conditions. It's going to be a cool one at 12 degrees overnight. Few clouds in store. The good news is for tomorrow, you can leave the umbrella at home. Sun and cloud is what's in store. 26 degrees, the anticipated daytime high. But if you factor in the humidex levels, it'll feel closer to 29. So these conditions, especially at 7 in the morning, not much in terms of cloud cover, especially for Ottawa, Smiths Falls, Kingston, and Brockville. A little bit just west of the Pembroke area, but it should clear up by the time the afternoon rolls around. Partly cloudy skies as we move into the evening, because Thursday will be a different story. We are anticipating rain moving through. We'll have those details for you and more in just a bit. Well, an investigation is underway into the cause of an overnight garage fire in Centertown. Multiple people called 911 around 1:30 in the morning, reporting black smoke coming from a building on Lisgar Street. When crews arrived on scene, they found flames coming from the garage with 2 vehicles inside. No injuries were reported. The fire was contained to the garage and 3 tenants were able to return home. A 33-year-old man is dead after an ATV crash north of Kingston. OPP say it happened Saturday night on Green Bay Road in South Frontenac Township. No other vehicles were involved in the crash. The rider was pronounced dead at the scene. And the Kemptville District Hospital is warning patients about longer than usual wait times in its emergency department. The hospital says it's currently at 139% capacity, putting pressure on staff and physicians. The hospital is encouraging people who can to access care through their family doctors. Concrete barriers are now in place at Knoxdale Public School after a car crashed through the front yard earlier this month. The driver had a medical emergency before losing control of the vehicle. No children were in the schoolyard at the time and no bystanders were hurt, but the incident sparked calls from parents for safety changes. The barriers are now in place before students return to class next Tuesday. And we're getting a look tonight at how much money Ottawa's mayor and councillors have spent on office expenses this term. The mayor and all 24 councillors have discretion on how to spend taxpayers' money when it comes to staffing, advertising, and office supplies. Between November 2022 and May 2026, they spent nearly $29 million. Most of that was salaries for office staff. And some sad news today from the entertainment world. Country music legend Dolly Parton has died after a battle with cancer.
Tumble out of bed and I stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition and yawn and stretch and try to come to life.
Dolly Parton is the best-selling female country music artist of all time. She's written over 3,000 songs, including 9 to 5, Jolene, and the mega hit I Will Always Love You. Born in Pittman Center, Tennessee in 1946, Parton began playing guitar at the age of 6 and singing in church. She started writing songs a year later. She had several #1 hits, and by 1980, she starred in her first movie, which was 9 to 5. Parton's nephew announced her death today in an online video. Dolly Parton was 80 years old.
We're the #1 customer to 17 states, #2 to 12 others.
The Premier speaking to Americans and making a case for Canada just one day after trading insults with the U.S. president. We'll have more when we return. OC Transpo is spending millions of dollars to keep its aging articulated buses on the road, with more riders expected this fall. The plan is to refurbish 30 of the buses, which are now 16 years old. It will cost around $180,000 per bus, with a total cost of around $5.4 million. The work is expected to be completed by the end of March. And as the trade war heats up, Donald Trump making a new threat towards Canada to rename Lake Ontario to Lake America. The U.S. president posting this photo on social media showing a map of Lake Ontario with the name crossed out and replaced with Lake America. In the caption saying, quote, "We don't expect to be doing much business with Ontario any longer." The Great Lake borders Ontario and New York, and the name is older than Canada itself. It began appearing on maps in 1656, with the province named after the body of water. Canadians seemingly unimpressed with Trump's latest threats. Meantime, Doug Ford says it's time to turn down the temperature, one day after trading insults with the U.S. president. The Ontario Premier spending the day trying to make the case for Canada and deliver a message directly to Americans on U.S. network television. CTV's Queen's Park Bureau Chief Siobhan Morris reports.
A day after an invitation from the Premier to the U.S. President.
I have a lot of real estate on my ass, so he has a lot of room to kiss my ass.
And a news conference littered with insults.
I don't respond to a dictator like President Trump, the king of bankruptcies. This guy's a loser. I have more courage, more brains in my baby toe than he has in his whole body. Not at all.
Today, Premier Doug Ford quieter in the halls of Queen's Park, making the case against tariffs on American TV.
We're the #1 customer to 17 states, #2 to 12 others. I'd rather make a great deal and support the American people, support the Canadians.
The shift in tone after Donald Trump targeted the province, musing online about renaming Lake Ontario to Lake of America and about pulling back on doing business with Ontario.
Why have you all of a sudden sort of chilled out here?
Well, you know something, he can throw them as much as I can. It's just not worth fighting back and forth and all the rhetoric.
On this, opposition parties agree with the Premier.
This is not WWE SmackDown. That's not going to feed families. That's not going to protect jobs.
The NDP leader says the goal shouldn't be to land the best insult.
This is about actually doing what we can do here in the province of Ontario.
Like making sure governments are really prioritizing Ontario products and services and reviewing existing contracts.
WSIB jobs going to Iron Mountain in the United States. ODSP jobs being privatized with an American firm.
The Premier has rejected calls from the opposition to bring the legislature back early. The return set for late October. Siobhan Morris, CTV News.
All right, let's get a look at our main weather for this evening. Look at here, here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, where it is 17 degrees right now. And as we take a closer look, you could leave the umbrella at home, as mentioned. For the next 24 hours, we are looking at a cool start to the morning, 15 degrees, mainly sunny skies, but we are warming up to 26 degrees. Those southerly winds moving in will keep things fairly warm for our Wednesday. Mix and sun cloud also in store. We're going to see more cloud cover, though, by the time we get to Wednesday evening. Yes, we are anticipating a heavy weather system to move in as early as the overnight hours of Thursday and into most of the day. So we are anticipating 15 millimeters of rain moving through. More on that in just a bit. But tonight's lows across eastern Ontario, 12, 13 degrees. Single digits already in Bancroft at 9 degrees. But by Montreal and Mont-Tremblant, clear skies are in the forecast. Now, tomorrow's daytime highs hovering between 25 and 26 degrees. It's going to be a gorgeous day in the capital. But the threat of rain looms here for our Thursday, as mentioned. We'll likely see it first move through Pembroke in the early hours. And then by the time noon to around 5 p.m. hits, you could see those red and orange blips moving through. Could anticipate a severe thunderstorm watch moving in as well, as mentioned. We will likely see 10 to 15 millimeters of rain moving in. Now, a look at the 7-day forecast. A cool Thursday, 23 degrees, overnight 12 into Friday, where will be the coolest day of the week. While we will get a mix of sun and cloud, the daytime high will be 20 degrees, and we're already feeling fall-like conditions for Friday into Saturday, where those overnight lows will get down to a cool 7 degrees. A local barbershop is being honored with a special ceremony as it marks 30 years in business.
For those of you who've been here before, you know it's a small space, but it's home. And welcome everyone to Fates.
Fades International on Somerset Street West has been open in the capital since the late 90s. The shop says in that time, it's been more than a place to get a haircut. For many in Ottawa's Black and Latino communities, it's a place to gather, connect with others, and to share stories and laughs. At a special ceremony, Ward Councillor Ariel Troster presented Fades with an official certificate of recognition. Local MPP Catherine McKenney also there to take part in the celebration and thank the local business.
We thank you, and we thank you every day for making our neighborhood such a rich and diverse place. And on behalf of also the province of Ontario, I want to also extend my deepest congratulations.
Friends and community members came together for this special recognition, celebrating the importance of this community space for nearly 3 decades and continuing to go strong.
If it looks at all suspicious, stop it, ask a couple questions, and then you're not going to lose money.
Coming up, an Ottawa business owner speaking out and warning others after avoiding falling victim to what's called an overpayment scam.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
An Ottawa business owner is speaking out after thwarting an overpayment scam attempt. It's where someone sends you a fake check over and above the amount you requested, then asks you to send back the difference. Police say the fake checks are getting so good, even bank employees are getting fooled. CTV's Katie Griffin reports.
This is all the documentation.
Kevin Moberg at Signarama Nepean was all set to install decals on a fleet of vehicles.
He did send me the graphics so I could start printing and all that.
He received the order over email from a business said to be in Toronto last month. Then red flags started piling up.
He sent me all the information, so right away I checked addresses, which was wrong. It was actually a subdivision, old subdivision in Toronto. Couldn't find the company name online.
But he wanted to see where it went, so the person sent a certified check.
He sent me the check and he said, I apologize, the check is about $4,000 too much.
The person asked Moberg to deposit the check, then e-transfer him back the difference to an account in Oklahoma.
If it's more money than what you're requesting, it's a red flag, it's a fraud automatically. I wouldn't continue with the deal.
It's called an overpayment scam. Scammers contact people or companies by text or email, overpay with a fake check, then ask for money back. This type of scam is happening right across the country, including recently in Alberta, where a scammer posed as a homeowner and hired an arborist to cut down a massive tree in her front lawn without her knowing. Ottawa police say they primarily see this for Kijiji and Facebook Marketplace sales, and even bank tellers are being fooled.
You go to put that check or money order or bank draft in the bank, it clears, but then 7 days later, the bank will tell you, oops, this was fraudulent and we only picked it up once it passed our clearing section. You're then out the extra money that you've given them and the bank does not repay you.
Moberg never sent any money, speaking out so others are on high alert.
This one here looked really legit. Like if I was not watching what I'm doing, we may have got caught. And I think a lot of people need to know that this is out there. And if it looks at all suspicious, stop it, ask a couple questions, and then you're not going to lose money.
Katie Griffin, CTV News.
It's pretty mind-blowing, to come up and see the line and just see, the press, and it just feels very big.
From the pitcher's mound to the art studio, a Toronto Blue Jays player is sharing his artwork at a new museum exhibit.
What if 30 days could change your heart health and your future? This September, jump in for Women's Heart Health and join us for our first ever heart-to-heart walk on September 29th. Every step helps fund life-saving research and care at the Canadian Women's Heart Health Centre, powered by the Ottawa Heart Institute. Register today at jumpinnow.ca and receive your official Jump In socks.
One of the most talked about Toronto Blue Jays players this season is showing fans another side. Pitcher Dylan Cease is also a painter, and he's teamed up with the Art Gallery of Ontario to show a limited edition collection of his artwork. Here's CTV's Sean Leathong.
The 1-2 from Cease. He got him.
He's second in the major leagues in strikeouts, and now Dylan Cease leads all of baseball in another category. Works of art hanging in a major gallery with his original painting titled Eve of Toronto at the Art Gallery of Ontario.
It's pretty mind-blowing, you know, to come up and see the line and just see, you know, the press, and it just feels very big.
This morning, fans were lined up around the block and through the front doors for a chance to meet the Blue Jays All-Star and see his work up close.
Dylan Cease, I was shocked. He's an incredible artist.
I've been a member for years, and when I heard that they were collaborating with Dylan Cease, I'm like, I have to get the shirt.
There are T-shirts, prints, and tote bags for sale, all the proceeds going to the AGO charitable mission, a collaboration that came about after staff spotted Cease inside the gallery on his off day.
Our social media manager guided him into our Renaissance gallery, which is full of guys with moustaches. So we got this perfect photo of Dylan between two 15th century masterpieces all showing off their moustaches. And Dylan was more than happy to talk to us about his artwork. The story continued, the conversations continued, and here we are.
Cease began painting his own originals back in 2022 as he uses art as a way of separating himself from baseball.
I think it helps me balance my life and balance myself in a lot of ways, and ultimately I just really enjoy doing it.
Cease crafted Eve of Toronto during spring training this past February. He says the acrylic on canvas represents the anticipation of coming to his new team after signing with Toronto as a free agent.
I like seeing opinions on it. Like, you don't have to like it. I like people. Some people love it, some people hate it. It's interesting just seeing the mixed receptions.
On this day, the reception was overwhelmingly positive, with Cease taking the time to talk with some young summer campers and meet with fans who connect with his multifaceted personality.
A lot of times there's people who think that you can't do sports and something like art or music or something like that. So it's also big to the fans that are not only baseball fans, but culture fans and people that love the art gallery.
It feels good to give back, and it feels good to be a part of the community. And I hope this is just one little step towards being part of the culture, really.
And while most people who see Cease's work up close end up walking back to the dugout, here they get to connect with a sports hero in a unique way. Sean Leathong, CTV News.
Well, it turns out beavers can be worth a lot of money. Well, ones like these at least. More on this FIFA World Cup themed sculptures when we return. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass sky cam, where it's 17 degrees out there right now, and overnight conditions are anticipated to get to lows of about 12-13 degrees. The good news is that what you're feeling now, very similar to what we will wake up to. The difference, though, lots of sunshine, mainly sunny skies for 7 a.m. We are warming up to 26 degrees. We'll see more cloud cover by the time Wednesday evening rolls around, and that's because we are anticipating a heavy weather system to move through Thursday. The likeliness for here, at least in the Ottawa area, will likely be between 1 and 5 p.m., where, yes, we are anticipating 10 to 15 millimeters of rain. It'll be a cool 23 degrees the daytime high. Friday, much cooler at 20 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud, going down to single digits. Yes, Friday into Saturday, 7 degrees the overnight low. And Saturday, we'll see the return of the sunshine with a daytime high of 23 degrees. Well, finally for us tonight, what do you do with 52 beaver statues that were decorated for the FIFA World Cup? Well, you put it up for auction. The bid to own one of the statues has officially closed, and it turns out these beavers can be worth a lot of money. This hand-painted Canadian motif beaver featuring fall-colored maple leaves brought in the most money. It sold for just over $10,000. Now, the Scottish statue won the second highest bid of more than $7,500. The installations, including one from an Ottawa artist, was part of an artistic scavenger hunt in downtown Toronto. The auction bringing in a total of more than $170,000 to be given to 2 charitable organizations. Well, that is it for CTV News for Tuesday, August 25th. CTV News continues online anytime with our digital team, keeping you up to date at ctvnewsottawa.ca. You can also watch our newscast live on the CTV News app anytime. And for news on the go, listen to News Talk Radio 580 CFRA. For all of us at CTV News, thank you so much for watching. Have a great night.